Hey everybody, it's Forbes Riley, and I'm here on a mission to get you fit and healthy. You kind of need to do that from the inside out. So I've got little tips here. Are you ready? You might want to get out a pen and a piece of paper. I've got 7 tips for getting you to detoxify your body. Now, when you do this, and if you don't, you're so missing out. Let me tell you something. The air that we breathe, especially if you live in Los Angeles where you can see the air, is not so clean. The water we drink, not so clean. The food we eat that's processed, not so good. The soda pop that we drink, not so nutritious. What is going on? Would you like to live a wonderful, long, healthful life? Not about you, but I'd like to. I've got 2 13-year-old kids. I'd like to see them get married, and I'd like to meet my grandchildren. So I'm on a mission, but I've been on a mission most of my life, and now through the internet and through you watching me right now, I'm going to give you some of my super insider tips. You ready? And I wrote them down so we don't get confused here, because the first one is, I know you know this, but you need to super hydrate. You need to get great water into your body often. Now think about this. You don't not put gas in your gas tank and expect it to go, do you? Well, that's part of the principle. So many of us and so many people that I see are actually dehydrated. And if you get thirsty, you are almost too late. That is a bad, bad sign. So why do you want to hydrate? It actually is what keeps your body moving. It keeps your skin supple. It keeps your brain literally fluid. You know, you can live without food for quite a long time, but you can't live without water. And make sure that it's good quality water. What do I mean by that? Well, there's companies that sell alkaline water, and we'll go into that in another video. But just make sure that it's good spring water. That is a great start. And if you do a cleanse, a couple of days, 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, you might want to, but be careful about this, is distilled water. When you drink distilled water, it actually pulls all the stuff out of your body, but it also pulls the good minerals out. So don't do it for too long, but let's do it for a few days and see how wonderful you feel. Second thing is, you want to cleanse your colon, your liver and your colon, and there's a way to do this. One, there's some herbs that you'll find on this page, and then there's something else you might want to look into, and that's having a colonic. Never heard of a colonic before? Well, I won't go into too many details, but it's one of the most amazing things you can do for your body. You know, they say that when Elvis Presley died, he had all of this stuff impacted in his belly, like 35 pounds. Apparently John Wade had the same thing. Where does that come from? Well, inhaling smoke, bad food, too much stress, not enough sleep. And there's a way to clean this out naturally. It's something I've been doing for years, and I'm just going to advise that you look up where, locally, you can get a colonic. You'll never know what you see. In fact, a true story. I took my kids, because I really want them to understand this. You can actually see what comes out of you without getting too graphic. Sometimes it's marbles, or maybe a little like army creature that you swallowed when you were 3 years old. It gets stuck in your belly. You don't want this in your, trust me, you want it out of your body. And I brought my kids in to watch it, and it was a very, I wouldn't say it's a party, but it's a fun learning experience. Because what comes in should really be going out. Okay, how about a sound nutritional plan? Oh, what does that mean? Guys, here's the thing about food. You know, we all talk about you should be able to read labels, and absolutely, I definitely want you to learn to read labels. Very important. The best label you should read is the one that has one ingredient. What do I mean? A lemon, a chicken, a steak, a lettuce. One-word ingredients, and there's no labels. I know, I was kind of being funny there. So one of the things that you want to do to create a sound nutritional plan is you walk the outside of the grocery store. That's where all the good stuff is. Do you ever stand, I'm going to ask you to do this. You go into the grocery store and you find the fruit and vegetable section, especially if you go to one like a Whole Foods or a natural food place, and just close your eyes for a second and then open them up and look around. You know what you see? You see colors, you see life, you see enzymes, you see water-rich foods, you see melon and peppers and bananas and everything that's just amazingly real that the earth gave us. My dear friend and major mentor, Jack LaLanne, said, if man made it, don't eat it. And I remember the first time my kids and I, they were old enough to understand after we learned this concept, we went down the cereal aisle. You know what's down the cereal aisle? Box after box after box. High fructose corn syrup, artificial that, dye-colored this. And we give that to our kids? Why do we do that? We give sugar to our kids, and we wonder why they're so hyper. Then we give them a drug to calm them down. My solution would be to cut out the sugar. You get all the natural sugars that you need from God's greatest fruit. Some grape, apple, orange, watermelon. It's out there waiting for you, and so many of us just forget that. Next, Oh, I need you to lymphosize. What does that mean? All right, so the blood in your body is pumped by your heart. Great mechanism. Now, I don't know what the creator was thinking, but the garbage disposal system doesn't work quite the same way. There's no pump to pump it out. In fact, you need to move your body. So I've been selling a trampoline on television for almost 12 years, and I gotta tell you, if you jump up and down every day on a trampoline, it starts to move your whole body. You can, if you don't have access to one of those, just raise up and down on your toes a bunch, or jump rope. Ever watch a little kid? They love to jump. It's a very natural thing. Somehow when we get older, we forget to jump. We forget a lot of things. We forget to skip and laugh, go outside and play, just enjoy life. But that's a whole nother video. Right now, let's just remember that word, lymphosize. Get the stuff out of your body. You know, on that, I'm going to give you one more tip. For those of us who bought into the whole deodorant thing, you know, your lymph glands are all under your arms, right near your breast. I hear so many more stories of breast cancer, and I wonder, I don't know if it's true, that if I spray and I clog all of these lymph glands up where the sweat is supposed to go out, and I keep it all in, what might happen to my breast? So that's just food for thought about how you take care of your body and what we've been told is true and what you really know is true. All right, a low impact exercise. Guys, you gotta move. Please listen to me about this. You have a part of your body from the neck down. So many of us see our fingers and our heads, and by the way, our heads are like this, bad posture, over a computer, over a phone. We're getting worse and worse and we can't afford to do this. You have a body, and that body is so magnificent. You gotta get up and use it. If you're sitting at a desk for more than 3 hours, you, my friend, become a fat storing machine. I know, right? Like you started eating less and gaining weight and you're not sure what's going on. You're trying diets, you're trying this pill. Here's the deal, move. I mean it, just get up and walk away from the desk. I personally take my spin gym everywhere I go. It raises your heartbeat. It's low impact, it's low cost. Put it on your desk. Look at it every hour and go, I could read a Facebook or an email and just pump out a little bit. How amazing for that thing below your head. Next, you gotta build a strong immune system. You gotta get some great supplementation into your body. Why? Here's the truth. A tomato, an organic tomato today, has less nutrition than a regular tomato did 50 years ago. You serious? Yeah, here's what we've done. We have a lot of people on this planet. We've depleted the value of our soil and we're eating things that grow in bad soil. We're not getting enough nutrition. Now, I created a brand of supplements that I'm gonna offer up as one of the best that I think. I called it Forbes Fuel. Why do I call it that way? It's Forbes Fuel Ultimate Nutrition or Ultimate Supplementation because you'd never put water in your gas tank. Well, think about that for a second. You've got a car. Maybe it's an inexpensive car, maybe it's a Lamborghini. Would you put water in that gas tank and expect it to go? No, you wouldn't, right? I bet you didn't even try, but you know that that's not the case. But you'll put junk food into your body and expect it to go and at its very best. Think about that for a second. My goal, high octane fuel. Eat good food, but make sure that you supplement it. And then finally, and this is probably the most overlooked one, you need to sleep. Well, maybe not while you're watching this video, but you need to get your rest. You can't go to bed stressed out, and here's a couple of my tips for that. Number one, make your bedroom sacred. You're gonna love this. Take your picture of your family and your in-laws and your dog and everybody out of that room. That room is for two things. One of them is sleeping, the other is, you know, and if it isn't, it should be. Make it a romantic room. Make it a room that you want to retire to. Number two, make it a dark room. Studies have shown you don't sleep well in the light. Even if your eyes are closed, you can still see the light. Make it dark, shut your brain off. I recommend taking a few deep breaths before you go to sleep, having a pen and paper so when you wake up, all the thoughts of the next day that come in your head, put it on a piece of paper. Maybe you should wake up a little bit early so that you can just take that moment and be quiet. You can't live your life stressed out. It's not a life. So I hope this was helpful, informative. It comes from my heart. It's the way I've lived my life. I have some amazing mentors in this field in the health and fitness and nutrition business. And I'll tell you what, my goal is to get you the very best from the inside out. All right, I'll see you again next time.